It's important for me to acknowledge that this video wouldn't exist. None of these apologies would if I wasn't called out for it by ZMM. And I think most of you already knew that, but it's the truth. And I would have continued to be a coward and not said anything about it. And ZMM, I'm sorry that it took over 4 months for me, 4 months, and after I got exposed for me to finally say something about it. But here we are. In September, ZMM uploaded a swarm guide, and only a few days later, I uploaded a video titled The Easiest Way to Beat Swarm Disaster Difficulty 5. Only I didn't come up with any of it. I just took what ZMM had, the strategy he created. Some parts were even taken word for word. None of it was transformative. None of it had my own ideas or innovations. It was like just outright I stole his content. And it's plagiarism. It's the most fucked up thing a creator can do. And I didn't even consider how it would impact him, which is part one of many fucked up reasons why plagiarism is just unacceptable. So I stole his video and I kept quiet about it for up until he made that video. ZMM, I'm sorry that it's only now I realize how much harm I've caused for you. And I'm sorry you had to go through all that for the past 4 months. The fear of uploading a video on YouTube is like, I can't even imagine how fucked up that is. And I'm sorry. I know how much time and effort you put into each of your videos, the amount of time testing, creating the strategies to help other players clear the hardest content, and then editing, publishing, only for your blood, sweat, and tears, all that hard work, and having your content ripped away from you by me and profiting off of it without even a mention or crediting you. It's so messed up, and I'm sorry that I did that to you. I do hope we'll be able to talk at some point. You're not obliged to, of course. I want to give you as much space as you need. But if you ever choose to, take your time, and I want to do whatever I can to make things right. It's the bare minimum, and words only mean so much. And I want to show that through action and through time. I have no ill will or intent towards you. And I know that coming from me, who I failed to show that. I disrespected you. It was a lack of utter human decency to plagiarize your video and profit off of it. It's the most scum, like, I'm at a loss for how to even describe that, but I'm sorry. And I don't even know how to even make it up to you, but I gotta start somewhere, and this is it. I'm gonna take some time to go over why I did what I did, because obviously it was horrible, so there must have been some reason behind it, and hopefully this will give you some more context as well, and understanding to what kind of person I actually am. So this was when Storm Disaster just came out. I saw all these guides popping up. They're doing really well, getting lots of views, and I was jealous. I wanted those views, and I knew that making a guide that could help players clear the hardest difficulty of the game would do really well. And the problem here is, instead of making my own, I went through and looked for the strategies that worked, the ones that could help the most players. So ZMM's guide, the one that was very free to play friendly. You could use really any of the free units in that video to do it. The only one at the time was Pel. Okay, this is going off on a tangent, but the point is, I went and specifically looked for the strategy that could help the most players. And took it, made it my own. All the recognition, because I played it off as my own strategy, went to me. The praise, the profits, the growth, the amount of views, and just thinking about what I've taken away from ZMM, not just his content, right? The potential growth, the potential views, revenue, all of that were stolen. And this, not crediting him, was out of selfishness. I didn't want to share the success with anyone else, and that's what went through my mind at the time. And of course, because I took his video, what's going through my mind is, eh, this isn't a big deal. He's not gonna lash out about it or do anything like that. And after a week or so, I forget about it. And yeah, once I got called out for it a couple weeks ago in January, 4 months after I uploaded my video, I knew immediately that what the video was about. And all I could do was, I didn't see it coming. Now, that's not an excuse. That is me understanding that I fucked up. Not in that I got caught, but like what I did was truly fucked up. And I didn't consider the actual severity of it, even though I know how bad plagiarism is. It doesn't matter what space you're in. Content creation, of course, is one of the ones where you can get away with it, but it's unacceptable. I've been through university. Everyone, like when you submit an essay, you take any idea from someone else, you need to reference your source. And it's the same here, but they don't punish you the way they do in university. They kick you out, you're done. So I should have known better, of course, but I'm terrible and I need to improve. I it's an, like, why would I do such a thing, right? Just just because I was jealous, just because I was selfish, I felt entitled to get those views that these creators did and didn't think much. Like when you take a video from someone, when you plagiarize, that's you already putting yourself on a pedestal. At least that's the understanding that I came to. And even if I'm not actively consciously thinking that, when you are in the act of plagiarizing and not crediting someone else, like actually, those are two separate things. But when you do something like that, you think you're above them, and that's not right. So I hope that gives some insight to why I did it. It's not a reason, it's something that I need to change. And I'm ashamed to admit it, but I didn't speak up for 4 months because I was a coward. I was hoping that it never resurfaced, that I wouldn't have to take responsibility for it. And obviously, that mindset, my entire mindset is wrong. Like, my thinking in this entire situation is fucked up. Like, the plagiarism, how to take responsibility, like, just human conduct. A lot of things about me are, you know, I need to improve. These aren't excuses. It's me acknowledging my pitfalls, my weaknesses, and yeah, it, I don't want anyone to feel any pity for me. I don't deserve it. Um, but this is me putting myself out there and admitting to it, right? Being sorry for being caught definitely takes away from the sincerity of an apology, but I still need to take responsibility for my actions and learn from my mistakes. And no, it's not learning from my mistakes and don't get caught next time. No, it's realizing, using this as an opportunity that in the long term, this is more beneficial to me as a human than if I had gotten away with it. the last thing I need to address is what other creators would I have done this to? And I went through each of my videos to identify which ones. It doesn't take long because I know exactly which videos were inspired by who. And let's go through each of them one by one. But first off, I want to say, even though these videos aren't examples of plagiarism, it doesn't make them any better because the mindset I had when creating them was the exact same as when I stole ZMM's Swarm Guide, which is the selfishness, the entitlement to, I think I deserve these views and they don't. So it's still scummy, it's still horrible, and I apologize to all of you. But let's go through the list. So Jing Yuan solo was inspired by Wait Forever. That's where I saw it first, and I'm sorry. I mean, I've now credited all these creators, but I'll get more on that after. This one is an Arlen Zero Cycle Showcase by Marienberg. Also, I'm just thinking off the top of my head. I'm editing in all these later. And for my Arlen video, I used his strategy for one of my sides and didn't credit him. Then there's Mr. Pokey. The fucked up thing is I actually go through this in my head. Should I credit him? And I chose not to. And like, what am I even doing? So Mr. Pokey, I know he got it from CN, but he cited his sources correctly. He's doing it the right way. And I failed to credit anyone, even though I used it for one of my videos. And then, of course, Knackfrog and ZMM for the capitalism strat. I used the strategy in two of my runs, my Qingque and Mono Preservation, and didn't credit them. And again, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cause any harm, but I'm sorry if I did to all of you. It's fucked up of me. And I'm not going to play it off like it's an oversight or I didn't have any bad intentions. Of course I did. I am selfish. And that's just the reality of it. So I've now added them in the credits. It's not like it's already months since some of these videos have been uploaded. And crediting now is really just a reactionary thing after I've been called out for it. So, Wait Forever, Marienberg, Mr. Pokey, and Knackfrog. I'm sorry for being a scumbag and not crediting you for using the strategies that you covered in your videos. I'm not better than anyone, and in fact, I lack the common human decency to show respect, and I'm sorry. ZMM, of course, sorry for putting you through everything, all the pain I've caused you, and just stealing your content and profiting off of it is the most fucked up thing here. But that's pretty much it. This video isn't being monetized for obvious reasons, and I don't think this is drama. The whole thing between ZMM and I is bringing the serious issue and terrible actions that I committed to light, and me finally taking responsibility after 4 months. So that is what I think it is. I don't know if that's important or not, but I'm just sharing my thoughts. Will I continue to make videos? Yes, I think I will. I don't know about anytime soon. Definitely need more time to reflect. And when I do in the future, I want to do things right. I don't want to be crediting people because I got called out for it. I want to be crediting out of goodwill, pure intent, and just correcting my mistakes, becoming a better person. Again, words only mean so much, but just know that I enjoy making videos, even though my toxic mindset came from getting the views, getting all that recognition. I hope to change. I want to change. And if I don't believe in myself, why would I expect anyone else to believe in me?